Hello, everyone. Hello, Master. Let's continue studying the Earth Store Bodhisattva's Vow Sutra. Chapter 13, Entrusting Humans and Heavenly Beings. What does the word entrusting mean? It means assigning something to someone. This chapter is about the Buddha entrusting the beings in all known realms to Earth Store Bodhisattva. It's a task assigned to Earth Store Bodhisattva. Alright, let's begin. At that time, the world-honored one raised his golden arm, placed his hand on the crown of Earth Store Bodhisattva's head and said, Earth Store, your supernormal power, kindness and compassion are inconceivable. Your wisdom and eloquence are inconceivable. Even if all the Buddhas of the 10 directions were to praise and speak on the inconceivable matters about you, they could not describe fully in millions of eons. That's a very long time. I don't think humans are able to tell how long that is. It's just too long for humans to count. Earth Store. Remember that today in the Trayastrimsa heaven, in this great assembly of millions of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, 8 legions of heavenly beings and dragon-like beings, I once again entrust to you all beings who have not yet left the 3 realms. Do not allow these sentient beings to fall into the evil realms even for a single day and night, much less fall into the hell of 5-fold incessant suffering or the Avicii hell, where they would pass through millions of eons without a time of release. This is about the Buddha reminding Earth Store Bodhisattva to never let the beings entrusted to him fall into hell. Once they fall into hell, they're trapped there for eternity. So he must protect them at all cost. Then, the Buddha said further, Earth Store, the sentient beings have irresolute aspirations and nature. Most of them are accustomed to evil. It means they're attracted to things that are evil in nature. Even if they resolve to be virtuous, soon they will regress. When their kindness arises, it only lasts for a while, and then they turn back into humans with the 5 poisons. If they encounter evil karmic connections, the maliciousness increases thought upon thought. That explains why they learn evil stuff easily. For this reason, I transform into millions of manifestations to guide them across to liberation, in accordance with their foundations and natures. The Buddha said further, Earth Store, I now entrust all beings to you. In the future, there may be beings who plant a few virtuous roots in Buddha Dharma, even as little as a strand of hair. You should use Dharma power to support and protect them, so that they gradually cultivate the unsurpassed way. Do not let them regress from it. Furthermore, in the future, there may be beings or humans who fall into the evil realms to undergo their karmic effects. When on the verge of falling into these evil realms, if these sentient beings can chant a Buddha's name, a Bodhisattva's name, a sentence or a verse from the Mahayana Sutras, you should use your power to rescue these beings skillfully. Manifest your boundless body and shatter the hells for them. Enable them to be reborn in the heavens and experience joy. At that time, the world-honored one spoke in verse. Heavenly beings, humans and beings of the present and future, I now earnestly entrust them to you. use great supernormal power and skillful means to liberate them. At that time, Earth Store Bodhisattva knelt with palms joined and said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, do not worry. In the future, if there are kind beings who have a single thought of respect in Buddha Dharma, I will use thousands of skillful means to guide these people to liberation, freeing them from the cycle of birth and death quickly. How much more so for those who hear virtuous deeds and practice those deeds thought upon thought. Naturally, they will never regress or turn away from the unsurpassed way." At that time, there was a bodhisattva named Akasagarbha who said to the Buddha, "World-honored one, since I came to the Trayastrimsa heaven, I have heard Tathagata praise Earth Store Bodhisattvas, inconceivable and awesome supernormal power. In the future, all beings may be able to hear this sutra. Hear Earth Store's name, or gaze at and pay reverence to his image. How many types of merits and benefits will these beings gain? World-honored one, for the sake of all beings in the present and future, please briefly speak about this." The Buddha told Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, "Listen attentively. I will describe them separately to you. In the future, there may be kind beings who see Earth Store's image and hear, read and recite this sutra, who make offerings of incense, flowers, food, drink, clothing or treasures, who sing his praises, gaze up at and pay reverence to him. These people will gain 28 kinds of benefits. 1. Heavenly beings and dragon-like beings will protect them." What kind of protection? All day, 24-hour protection, of course. 2. Their virtuous karma will increase daily. 3. They will accumulate superior causes for holiness. 4. They will not regress from Bodhi. This is important. 5. Their food and clothing will be abundant. You feel more secure and rich when you have enough food and clothing. Without food and money, that's real suffering. The Buddha takes care of us in a very practical way. 6. They will not be affected by illness or infectious disease. 7. They will not be in disasters of flood or fire. 8. They will not be burglarized or robbed. 9. People who see them will admire and respect them. 10. Deities and ghosts will help and support them. 11. Women, who wish to, will be reborn as men. 12. Women, who wish to, will be reborn as women, and they will be daughters of kings and ministers. 13. They will have a dignified appearance and perfect features. 14. They will frequently be reborn in the heavens. That makes you a divine being, not a mortal. That's true joy and happiness. 15. They may be emperors or kings. 16. They will attain the supernormal power of knowing their past lives. 17. Their wishes will be fulfilled. 18. Their families and retinues will be happy. 19. Sudden calamities will be eliminated. 20. They will forever avoid the suffering realms. 21. They will always arrive at their destination safely. 22. Their dreams at night will be peaceful and happy. 23. Their deceased relatives will leave suffering behind. 24. They will be reborn on the strength of their past merit. 25. Holy ones will praise them. 26. They will be intelligent and have keen faculties. 27. They will be replete with kindness and compassion. 28. They will ultimately become Buddhas. Furthermore, Akasagarbha In the present and future, there may be beings who hear Earth Store's name, pay reverence to his image, or hear his vows, deeds, and practices. By praising, gazing respectfully at, and revering him, these beings will gain 7 kinds of benefits. 1. They will quickly ascend the stages of holiness. In other words, liberation. 2. Their evil karma will be extinguished. 3. Many Buddhas will protect and be near them. 4. They will never regress from Bodhi. 5. Their innate abilities will increase. 6. They will know their past lives. 7. They will ultimately become Buddhas. After hearing Sakyamuni Buddha's praise of Earth Store Bodhisattva, the attendees from the 10 directions, from the immeasurable Buddhas, Tathagatas and Bodhisattvas to the heavenly and dragon-like beings, all marveled, exclaiming that there had never been anything like it. At that time, immeasurable amounts of incense, flowers, heavenly clothing, and jeweled ornaments rained down in the Trayastrimsa heaven. As offerings to Sakyamuni Buddha and Earth Store Bodhisattva. Afterward, the entire assembly again gazed and paid reverence to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. They joined their palms and withdrew. This is where the sutra ends. Master, at the beginning of this chapter, it says something about Buddha's golden arm. Do all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have golden bodies? It depends on how you perceive it. In the northern region of ancient India, most of the people did have golden, yellowish skin color. In sutras, that's the color used when describing the Buddha and his disciples. Some Buddhas do have golden, purplish skin color. Mortals who attain Buddhahood also have such skin color, thanks to their great compassion. Let me share some of my own meditation experience. I never intentionally visualized myself having a golden appearance. I said before that when I entered the state of purity, I could feel a presence of my manifestation beside me. When I was young, my house wasn't that bright, because we wanted to save electricity or oil. A darker environment is more suitable for meditating, so I paid no attention to my manifestation. I told myself that it was just an illusion. I wasn't scared, and I didn't care. We should keep such a mentality and practice diligently. As I progressed further, my manifestation became somewhat golden in color. Again, I paid no attention to it. The manifestations that appeared after that had my face and features on them, though not so clear. A month later, they looked exactly like me, but more auspicious looking than me. Later I was quite sure that the manifestation was another form of me. It could be called my golden manifestation or my Dharma form. To me, the golden color was the color of Buddha's Dharma form. Master, I have another question about the sutra. The Buddha says that for all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all heavenly and dragon-like beings, and other beings who have not yet left the three realms, who are still in this burning house, he entrusts them to Earth Store. Master, how do we interpret the three realms? And why is it said that the beings are in a burning house? Of the 6 realms, the human realm is in the middle. There are the bottom 3 realms. There is the realm of heaven, with the realm of Asura below it. Who inhabits the realm of Asura? Demons and demigods. The divine beings inhabit the realm of heaven. They're advanced life forms. They have different mind states and live in different levels of heaven. And their lifespans and lifestyles also vary. The human realm is below the Asura realm. Even lower, it's the animal realm. Pigs, cattle, sheep, dogs and chickens belong to this realm. Then, there's the hungry ghost realm. At the bottom, there's hell with lots of punishments. Souls of the dead belong to the hungry ghost realm, before they're judged. This realm is where souls of the deceased wander. Hell is where souls are punished based on the judgment. And then there are the 3 worlds. Remember, 6 realms and 3 worlds. Top of the 3 worlds is the formless realm. It's also called the realm of emptiness. When you have nothing, you have no desire. And then, there is the form realm. There are humans, riches, longevity, and treasures, more than what kings and emperors possess. And then, there is the desire realm. The Trayastrimsa heaven belongs to the desire realm. The beings there still have desires. They have desires, but they're unlike the ignorant mortals. They're way more advanced than that. The divine beings are out of the mortals' league. Now you know the realms of desire, form and formless. That's the 3 worlds in Buddhism. The 3 worlds and 6 realms work similarly. The former categorizes beings based on their states of mind, while the latter separates beings based on their life forms. That's how it is. The world is like a multi-story building. The 2 floors at the bottom belong to ghosts and inhabitants of hell. Humans are placed in the middle. Correct. Above the humans, the divine beings, right. That's what our world looks like. If you carry lots of sins, then you're placed on the bottom floor. If you give more, you go up. The Buddha is truly generous. When the Buddha vows to liberate all beings of the 6 realms, he means turning all mortals into the beings in the upper realms. You know how hard that is. Say, a 5-year-old kid who is just a kindergarten student wants to teach university students how to pass the admission exam to become a PhD candidate. That sounds impossible. Can an illiterate person turn people into professors? That's a hint that the Buddha is way beyond a mortal. Maybe he just appears like a human in this realm. Let's put it this way. The Buddha is not here to teach, but to show us the way to end our sufferings in the form of a human. He is the master of the three worlds. Now, let's talk about the burning house. When a house is on fire, it's not safe. The Lotus Sutra mentions that all beings in the 6 realms are the inhabitants of the burning house. That's what the Buddha says. There's a story about a venerable elder. Here, the word elder doesn't just mean his age, but his social status. He was respected by many. His health was bad due to his old age. Despite that, he was rich. He had a gigantic mansion with many servants. He had many children too. One day, his mansion caught fire. There was fire everywhere. The elder was not at home at that time. He saw the fire and shouted to warn the kids. But the kids were playing and didn't take notice. None of the kids heard him, and he was too old to catch the kids. Suddenly, he came up with a wise idea. He knew the kids were attracted to fancy toys. So that was what he was going to use to get the kids out. Kids, come out and try the new carts. You can even have your cart pulled by an ox, a deer, or a goat. In ancient times, carts would drive kids crazy. In ancient India, a cart pulled by a white ox was a symbol of wealth. The kids heard him shouting and ran out immediately. When the kids made it out, the mansion collapsed. That was how lucky the kids were. So the Buddha is the elder. And the mortals are the kids in the burning mansion. The Buddha loves the mortals just as the elder loved the kids. Exactly. Remember, the Buddha vowed to save all beings in the 3 worlds and 6 realms. That includes the deities in heaven. Because the deities have desires too. With desires, there will be greed and conflicts. That's why they couldn't attain enlightenment at the highest level. There's a fairy tale from China too. It's about a Chinese merchant who made money by selling goods. At that time, the value of coins was so small that people only used them to buy groceries. To buy houses, people used ingots. You need to string together lots of coins. To get a small silver ingot. To get a gold ingot, you need lots of silver ingots. So, the merchant made a lot of silver ingots. He had about 100 kilograms of them in big bags. He had a hard time moving his ingot bags onto the boat. The boat was caught in a fast current. When it reached the center of the river, the boat was sinking, and people were shouting at him to toss his ingots away. As expected, the merchant refused to do so. He said he had a big family to feed, so he needed those ingots. He was going to die if he hung on to his ingots, but he didn't care. We all treasure what we earn through our hard work. That's human nature. It's not a sin to love money by not spending unnecessarily. The merchant could have been saved. If he gave up his ingots in the middle of the river, it was either die rich or live poor. Obviously, he loved his money more than his life. And he died with his money. That's why I used a multi-story building as an example of the 3 worlds and 6 realms. The beings at the bottom level, which is the level of relentless hell, shall suffer for eternity with no chance to escape. The selfish desires of the beings in relentless hell are second to none. And that causes pain to people close to them. The beings with great greed hurt many people. They hurt many people because of their selfishness. And that has brought them lots of karmic debts. More selfishness causes more pain to others. That makes them carry lots of karmic debt. How much money you steal equals how much karmic debt you'll carry. Steal 10 gold bars, and 10 gold bars are tied to you. Imagine yourself running with 20 gold bars tied to your legs. No way would you be able to run. We've caused more pain than we realized. You could hurt someone with your speech alone. The pain you cause will keep latching on to you. In the form of karmic debts which you can't shake off. You know what ancient Chinese scales look like. It has a counterweight. This counterweight is made of iron. Imagine having 100 counterweights on you while you're sinking in the ocean. You're going to hit the bottom for sure. The more pain you cause to others, the more weight you carry. When will you be free from the suffering of your sins, and escape the sinking? That's how it is. You don't have to kill to sin. Just scam a senior citizen out of his retirement money. That's driving them to commit suicide. See, you've sinned. Laziness is a sin too. Imagine yourself doing nothing, not studying or working, after being supported so much by your parents. Being lazy is a great sin. Why? Because you don't give back at all, after taking so much from the world. You're causing pain to those who support you. Hell is the punishment for being lazy. The food you ate without giving back shall latch on to you. You'll go to hell. There are many things you do that get you to hell. If you don't give back, what you take will add sins on you. I'm not saying that kind people have no sin, but when a kind person donates food or clothes, he gets to clear some of his sins. When you take 1 unit of food and give back the same amount, you get 10,000 times the merits of what you give back. That unties the counterweight. Yes, we're talking about being rewarded 10,000 times more than what you give. The Buddha is generous. He says that if one can't afford to donate a building, then they can avoid hell by chanting to any bodhisattva even only once. When you do a good deed, you're one step closer to paradise. A powerful force pushes you closer to paradise. It's powerful enough to lift a house or a truck, let alone a human. Too easy. That's right. When you help others willingly, for nothing in return, it'll be easy for you to go up. Here's a salutation used by Buddhists. May you feel light and easeful. It means free from stress, pressure, afflictions, worries, debts, etc. That's what I call being free and at ease. Who is free as such? Guanyin Bodhisattva, of course. You don't have the negative karmic debt, so you don't have the pressure, and you feel at ease. That's what I call being truly free. That's true liberation. Being liberated from all afflictions caused by our greed. Your mind is elevated after you're liberated from sufferings. That's the opposite of falling into hell. On one hand, because you're selfish, you take things from others forcibly, causing pain to others. On the other hand, altruism helps you clear your sins. When you help others, you're giving. You elevate your mind state. Master, here's another question. Buddha told Earth Store Bodhisattva to never let anyone fall into hell. Is self-liberation possible in hell? Or must we rely on the Buddha's power? Self-liberation is possible only with a chance given by the Buddha. The chances don't come often, maybe once or twice in a year. So what does the Buddha do? The Buddha uses his compassion power to open the door to liberation for the chosen ones in hell. Who are the chosen ones? The ones who have made offerings to the Buddha, of course. When the door opens, they have to make their way up. Repenting is not enough. You have to play your part when you have the chance. I've told a story about a spider in hell. Yes, I remember. Once, Buddha was meditating, and a spider crawled on his hand. It dropped a string of silk. The Buddha knew right away that the silk was intended to free the beings in hell. It was a string of thin silk, but when it reached hell, it became a thick rope. Seeing the rope of salvation, the demons in hell rushed to get on it. The demon on top knew that the rope would break with so many demons climbing on it. To reduce the weight on the rope, he kicked some of the demons down. He was happy. He thought escaping was finally easier, and the rope broke. Everyone fell and continued their sufferings in hell. The meditating Buddha saw everything. He shed a tear out of compassion, because the demons lost their chance to get liberated. He wondered when the next chance would come. So, time passed. The Buddha's compassion arose, and the same spider appeared again to liberate the demons in hell. Again, the demons rushed to get on the rope. This time, the demon on top didn't kick anyone. Yes, this was a kind demon. Thanks to his kindness, all the demons managed to escape. Buddha was amazed. He wondered why this demon was so kind, and managed to help everyone escape hell. So he traced the causes and found the answer. Once, a group of merchants came across a group of bandits. They were robbed and killed. One of the merchants was the Buddha's previous incarnation. He was badly injured. A dead merchant's body lay on top of him. The bandits wanted to make sure all the merchants died. So they were landing killing blows on all the bodies. The demon on top of the rope, who was one of the bandits then, came to the merchant who was the Buddha's previous incarnation. He got a slender sense of compassion, as slender as spider silk. And he didn't land the killing blow on the Buddha and left. So that was how the merchant, or the Buddha's previous incarnation, survived. That slender sense of compassion was the reason he could get out of hell. He was the demon that grabbed the spider silk and escaped from hell. That's the story. It's impossible for a mortal to self-liberate without the help of the Buddha. Do what the Buddha tells you to do. Go where the Buddha tells you to go. The Buddha helps you and gives you the directions. You shall be liberated by following the Buddha. If you choose to stick to your deviated path, then you shall continue to suffer. I've done some observation of this matter myself. Most people wonder if karmic punishments are real. Let me give you an example to help you with that. Let's talk about environmental pollution. Ever since our factories were mechanized, they've been emitting toxic fumes non-stop. It's even worse if it's a chemical factory. People who live near chemical factories tend to have bad health. One of our practitioners used to live near a famous chemical enterprise. Her whole family was working in that enterprise. Her mom had a hard time conceiving her. She was born with poor health. After she grew up, she gave birth to a child with defects. This child is her only child. Getting pregnant was not easy. Her child's birth defects were obvious, both physically and mentally. It's not just her alone, but all the female workers in that enterprise. Having a hard time conceiving indicates their poor health. Their bodies had been polluted. It was a toxic environment. Why did they choose to stay there and work? Why didn't they escape? They couldn't afford to lose the job. They need to earn the money to support their families. They were not into starting their own business. They saw only one thing, and that was money. Not their health, their children, or their future generations. Her decision to stay decided her future generations' fate. They would suffer. Or looking for a new job, as long as she chose to stay. Her child's defects proved that her DNA had been altered. That's how it was. Her child had defects. If the child would get married and have a child, the next generation would have defects too. It will take another 10 generations for things to become normal again. We all know how badly factories can pollute the environment. Why are we still making the same mistakes? People are blinded by short-term interests. All governments support opening more factories, because more factories can provide more job opportunities. If an organization could create 2,000 job opportunities for a local town, the town council would even bow to them. The government likes the low unemployment rate. Most people have jobs. That sounds great. They don't care about pollution. People are blinded by short-term interests. How many people think ahead of time about long-term interests? Pursuing long-term profits could be difficult for an individual. But we can foresee the long-term benefits through wisdom. I've talked about the differences between a broad-minded person and a petty person. A petty person is easily triggered by all trivialities. They're short-sighted too. A small compliment is enough to make you their lifelong friend. They don't take criticisms well. They take criticisms as insults or humiliation. Instead of sources of motivation. They don't know criticisms can help them. That's what I call being short-sighted. It's easy to harm others when you're short-sighted. Broad-minded people focus on benefiting everyone. I hope everyone can learn to focus more on the future. Don't be blinded by greed and selfishness. Don't be petty. Focus on the future. Be far-sighted no matter what you do. Be it running your company, conducting yourself, or inventing a new product. Never accept a job just because it's popular. Don't do that. Find a job you like. Work in an industry that appeals to you, and the job should benefit all. That's how you choose jobs. This is what I call being far-sighted. That's how you forge an auspicious life that helps you avoid hell. You could even go to paradise. Master, I've a question about the sutra. The Buddha said to Earth Store, the sentient beings of JinBodhi have irresolute aspirations and nature. Most of them are accustomed to evil. Even if they resolve to be virtuous, soon they will regress. Why is it so easy for these beings to pick up evil? but so hard to practice kindness? Could you tell us more about this, Master? This is a hard question. The answer can be quite subjective, depending on your perspective. For most people, we often think they're nice if we only talk with them. When do we start realizing that they're not as good as we think? When people become closer, work together, etc. Or when advantages or profits are involved. That's when we know the nature of a person. You see, this question can be tackled from different perspectives. Why is it so easy to pick up evil, but so hard to learn kindness? Evil is attractive and tempting. Take gambling for example. Anyone here who likes gambling? You gamble when you place a bet. Everyone is happy when they win. You see, everyone is an opportunist to a certain extent. If a person works hard for a month and gets paid $1,000, what would happen if he stumbled on a chance to earn the same in 10 minutes? Same money, less time, why not, right? It's tempting, isn't it? Everyone would jump at such a chance. I had a similar experience too. It's a New Year game I played before. You toss a ring and if it lands on the placed item, then you get to carry the item home. Is this gambling to you? A little bit, right? These game booths are common, right? Many items can be placed: sodas, beers, cosmetics, toys, etc. People pay to get the rings. Of course, the placed items cost more than the rings. That's why people are willing to play. Winning something bigger by spending a little, it's tempting. The vendors calculated and experimented a lot. Before starting their business, they know that it takes a lot of money to win something. So, does this sound evil to you? A little bit, maybe. Evil seldom shows itself. Ring tossing is not so evil compared to horse betting, lottery, jackpot, etc. Every country has their own terms for these so-called lucky draws. $200 million are waiting for the rightful owner. Is this headline tempting? Very. About 10 years ago, I went to a casino in the States. I wanted to feel what a casino is like. The casino comes with a hotel. It's the famous Las Vegas casino. Number 5-star hotel could match it, in terms of design. The casino is like a palace. The luxurious design makes people stay longer and spend more money. And then people wonder why their savings disappear when they stay in Las Vegas. Now you know why. That's what I meant. Evil is tempting. Another example is drinking. Most alcoholic beverages don't taste good. Some Western wines are sweet, so they're more accepted. Chinese wines are too strong. You don't drink initially, then you're invited to drink. Finally, just for drinking, you can do anything. When we were young, the adults would call us to drink. If we said we couldn't, they would force us to drink. Some even coaxed us, saying, "The more you drink, the better it tastes." As kids, we were curious to find out if it was true. We usually passed out at the fourth shot. Then the adults would say things like, "That's my boy. You drank like a true man." Or, "A man who doesn't drink is not a true man." And then the poor, innocent boy took the bait. See, people are still aware of what they do. Most of the time, they're tempted to do evil. Also, there are corrupt people who can't live a day without corrupting other people. They're jealous of people who live a good life. The same goes for drug addicts. They don't want to be rotting alone, so they get others to join them. Previously, I told a story about a girl. At her friend's recommendation, she came from the countryside to the city to work. Once, her friend brought her to a restaurant, and she met a handsome young man there. They got together. That man was good to her. It turned out that she was nothing more than a drug mule. At last, she was shot, executed. She was arrested and didn't have money to escape. Everyone was watching when she was executed. The drugs were found at her place. She claimed that her boyfriend owned that place, but she couldn't prove it. The cops were doing their jobs based on the evidence. The drugs were in her possession, so she was guilty and shot. Sometimes, evidence-based law is not the answer to deal with the real big bosses and the real bad guys. The big bosses don't get their hands dirty, so the cops only catch the small fries. Some henchmen pleaded guilty willingly, most were forced. In the girl's case, she was the victim of a honey trap. She had no one in a foreign area, except her friend. She trusted her friend who got her a job. So, a handsome guy, a romantic encounter. She was fooled. Don't blame her innocence. Because those who have seen it all get scammed too. What's the cause? Most people get scammed because of their greed. So, back to your question, why is it easy to pick up evil? It could be people's weakness, greed, jealousy, arrogance, etc. It's hard to find one particular cause. There was another Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha, who asked about the merits of offering to Earth Store Bodhisattva. Not everyone has heard of this Bodhisattva. Master, please tell us more about this Bodhisattva. Sure. Akasagarbha, the Void Space Store Bodhisattva, is one of the 8 great Bodhisattvas of Mahayana Buddhism. This Bodhisattva is not talked about very often. So he's not as famous as Guanyin Bodhisattva. 1. Guanyin Bodhisattva. 2. Manjushri Bodhisattva. 3. Mahastamaprapta Bodhisattva. 4. Earth Store Bodhisattva. 5. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva. 6. Maitreya Bodhisattva. 7. Akasagarbha Bodhisattva. And lastly, Sarvanavaranavishkamban Bodhisattva. These are the 8 great Bodhisattvas. A Bodhisattva asks questions that are related to what he is. So, if it's a question by the Void Space Store Bodhisattva, it has got something to do with another realm or space. We have a Bodhisattva of Earth in Earth Store Bodhisattva, and a Bodhisattva of space in Void Space Store Bodhisattva. To be the Bodhisattva who looks after different spaces, he possesses an immeasurable amount of merits. What's so great about this Bodhisattva? This is a Bodhisattva who looks after the universe, the moon, the sun, the stars, and the other elements of nature. He is also called the Great King of Stars. The star here doesn't mean a movie star, but the stars in the sky. He's the Great King of Stars. Akasagarbha Bodhisattva's wisdom and wealth are limitless and boundless. We talking about the Bodhisattva who looks after the sky. The sky is wider than all the lands combined, you know. That tells you how great he is. He is the king of the void space. His power is boundless and limitless. Regarding his appearance, he is often seen wearing a crown of 5 gems. With his right hand holding a sword and his left a lotus topped with a jewel. This jewel is so powerful as it yields immeasurable energy. That's what I know. Master, the sutra also mentions that those who make offerings to the images of Earth Store Bodhisattva, or read the Earth Store Sutra shall gain 28 benefits. One is about attaining the power to know the past lives of all life. Previously, we learned that such ability can only be attained in a deep meditative state, or through lots of meditation practices. Can we attain such ability by just making offerings alone? I think it's possible. Humans' wisdom, mine included, is very limited. I always prefer attaining abilities through practices. With this ability, according to the name of this ability, you know someone's past. You can predict their future from their past. Your past predicts your future, so it's also a prophecy of your future. That's how it is. As you progress further, you'll unlock the ability to know your past even further back, say, 500 previous lifetimes. Knowing your past helps in shaping your future. Are there other abilities greater than knowing your past? Of course. I used to think that these abilities are attained through practices. Then, I found out that some people were born with such abilities. Some got them after having a fever when they were young. This could be the blessings of their merits, earned from their previous lifetimes. This could be the reason. This kind of people can be found everywhere around the world. Some never joined any Dharma school, but they can read your fortune like a real fortune teller. They rely on their intuition in their readings. This is quite similar to the ability mentioned in the sutra. They're born with such an ability. Most people don't know about their past lives, but these gifted ones know everything about other people's pasts. It's a gift from their previous lifetimes. Yes, it's possible to be gifted as such without practicing anything at all. In Buddhism, it's possible to learn the 5 eyes and 6 supernormal powers through meditation practices. The 6 supernormal abilities are the divine eye, the divine ear, mind reading, mind teleportation, life recollection, and ultimate freedom. These are abilities one may attain through meditation practices. Life recollection means knowing one's past. Mind reading means knowing one's thoughts. Mind teleportation means moving from one place to another without walking. Many people have the divine eye and divine ear. There are people who can see with their eyes shut. They see what happens at other people's homes, in relationships between family members, the past, the future, etc. Many practitioners here have these abilities, or some similar skills or techniques. You can have it too, if you practice hard without desiring anything. That gives you more powerful abilities. Greed weakens your abilities. The greedier you are, the weaker your abilities. When you read fortunes hoping for wealth in return, what you gain will put you in danger. We help people, but not for making money. That would lead to disasters. It's better to stay safe. Let's help with the heart of a bodhisattva. You want to avoid the burning house, right? We're not chasing the goal of reaching paradise when we die. Paradise doesn't belong to any of the 6 realms. Paradise itself is the whole universe. It's a realm free of sufferings and death. That's how it is. That's my answer to your question. Of the 28 benefits, one of them says that for those who make offerings to Earth Store Bodhisattva, their deceased relatives will leave suffering behind. In other words, their ancestors will leave suffering too. Someone asks, if we make offerings every day, can we free all our ancestors from their sufferings? You mean all? I don't think he knows how many ancestors he has. There's too many. Alright, let's put all of them in a time period of 1,000 years. One generation takes about 20 years. So, if we have 1,000 years, that's about 50 generations, right? Doing good deeds every day shows your kindness, but I think it's better if you could invoke your greater compassion every day. Make sure it's so great that it reaches all your ancestors, all human beings and all nature's creations. The Buddha says that all beings of the 6 realms are in the burning house. Even the great kings are waiting to be liberated. That's how Buddha sees it. Even the great kings are in the burning house. They just live for millions of years, and perish when the time comes. They don't know where they'll end up and need the Buddha's guidance. It's important to narrow down the number of years, because anything beyond 1,000 years is too much for our understanding. When you have such greater compassion invoked, anything that follows will surely liberate your ancestors. That's the power of compassion. Master, it's also mentioned that there are 28 benefits awaiting humans. But the divine beings are only blessed with 7 benefits. The humans are blessed more than the divine beings. Is this possible? Nothing wrong with that. We humans make more mistakes than the divine beings, after all. The divine beings are already blessed with some benefits, such as infinite food and clothing. Exactly. Also, they don't get sick, and they're safe wherever they go. Divine beings don't get into car accidents. Worldly problems belong to the beings of the worldly realm. Do the divine beings progress faster than humans in meditation practices? It is true. Human emotions are like roller coasters, with ups and downs. Their emotions tick all the time, like needles in clocks. Once the needles stop ticking, the clock is dead. The divine beings have no worldly emotions. So the needles in them don't tick as much as humans do. They tick, like, maybe once a year. Humans are weird. They complain about their tiring jobs. But when they're out of work, it's like the end of the world for them. For them, when losing their job, it's like seeing a ghost. That's how weird they are. Having a job isn't that much different from not, right? They worry for different reasons. In both situations, they're in torment. Worry comes when you have no composure. Divine beings have no worries. Mortals worry about something when there's nothing to worry about. For example, making 2 holes in their jeans when there's no need to do so. People used to tear their jeans accidentally at work. People are now doing it to show their knees and so look fashionable. This is what I call creating problems out of nothing. The poor want clothes without holes. The rich make holes in their clothes. How do the rich keep their composure that way? Humans do weird things. Because they're not so composed, hearts tell them to do it. Humans' emotions are like roller coasters, with ups and downs. They're crazy about different things at all times. People used to be crazy about cigarettes, then liquor and wine, right? The good thing is, people are drinking, in a more civilized manner. When people get bored with drinking, they'll go after drugs, ecstasy pills, heroin, cocaine, you name it. All these just to satisfy their cravings caused by their lack of composure. The more emotional ups and downs you have, the less composed you are. This is common in not just youths, but also in seniors. I think Buddha was being low-key when he said there would be 28 benefits. I think it should be 280 or 2,800 benefits. People sin too easily. They need more than just 28 benefits. Divine beings don't need that many benefits. As long as they're able to achieve enlightenment, they'll be more than happy. The sutra also mentions that all beings who make offerings to the images of Earth Store Bodhisattva or read the Earth Store Sutra aloud shall receive the said blessings. The key is to do it with utmost reverence, right? Here is my question. If one only makes an offering once, or only did one good deed, will they receive the said blessings? Does doing more speed things up? Or do we have to behave ourselves the way the sutra says? The best way is to do it frequently. It suits the concept of gradual enlightenment in Buddhism. The key is to do the said things frequently, until you achieve enlightenment. It's safer that way. It's not safe to be enlightened in the blink of an eye. The faster you achieve something, the less time you have for adaptation. Can a peasant overthrowing an emperor take the throne the next day? No way, it's too soon, and a revolt will happen if he does. Of course, a peasant has never learned how to rule. They don't have that kind of spirit and determination. So, when it comes to gaining merits through doing good deeds, I still prefer the idea of progressing slowly and steadily. One good deed a day is all it takes. Praise someone, or spare the life of a bug. These are counted as good deeds. True compassion is not acquired overnight, but cultivated through time. Cultivating compassion makes you more altruistic and forgiving. That's the safer way. As you frequently do good deeds and help people, it seeps into you and forms a habit. That's how you do it. Making donations and taking pictures to be famous is not true compassion but hypocrisy. You don't gain merits that way, you sin. The hungry ghosts will get you for being a hypocrite. Remember the story of the dragon girl, featured in the Lotus Sutra. She'd been practicing kindness before her encounter with the Buddha. In other words, it's a habit. Her reverence was invoked after meeting the Buddha. So the Buddha granted her immediate enlightenment. She'd already accumulated enough merits. Her offering was only the switch that triggered her immediate enlightenment. That's how it is. It's not like she was enlightened after making an offering. It's not like that. She already had a strong foundation. Thank you for answering our questions, Master, and for offering us a chance to obtain a Thanka of Earth Store Bodhisattva. To keep our homes safe, we have some questions about placing the Thanka. For those who don't have a big room or a big altar, to place this Thanka, what can they do? Can we hang it up in our bedroom, in the hallway, or in the living room? Yes, you can do that. In times of crisis, you just visualize the image of Earth Store Bodhisattva, or summon any Buddha or Bodhisattva in your mind. Do that and you shall be liberated. Again, reverence is the key. What if you don't have enough altars because you have too many statues? Just pick a clean and respectful place. Reverence, remember. What can you hang in your bedroom? Mandalas or any non-deity statues are fine. Characters that bring positive messages are fine too. Do we have to make offerings? For all statues, thankas, and paintings at home, no need to do that. Regardless of the time period, there are poor people who live in small houses, and those who can't afford an altar. Those who are poor but still want to get statues are sincere people. Just put all statues together and make one offering for all of them. Again, reverence is key and your offerings shall be received. If your house is small and you have 3 statues, placing 3 altars doesn't make sense. A small house has little space, so don't do that. The Buddha understands. You don't want to offer too many incense sticks in a small space, unless you want the smoke to choke you out. 3 incense sticks for all your statues, that's it. You don't want to choke the old folks out at home. Open the window when you light an incense stick. Or switch on the exhaust fan if it's winter. Take good care of the old folks and children at home, okay? Making offerings is auspicious, so don't make it inauspicious. For those who keep statues at home and make offerings to them, they shall avoid hell if they have never committed great sins, such as harming the Buddhas, killing or hurting their parents, shedding the blood of a Buddha, tarnishing the reputation of their master, kidnapping, killing or hurting anyone, etc. These are great sins. All practitioners and those who are with us now make offerings to statues of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and you shall not fall into the evil realm. You shall ascend to heaven or paradise. That's how it is. Yes, paradise awaits you. I hope to see utmost reverence for the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from our practitioners. Your reverence, kindness, and sincerity shall be received, and all your sins shall be forgiven. You shall be reborn in the realms of Eastern and Western paradise. Is this possible? My wishes shall be heard, and my prayers answered by Buddha. You shall reach there, trust me. Say, got it, and you shall reach there, got it. Not so soon, okay? Live a good life first. Live and work well. When it's time to leave, you shall leave without fear. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas will come pick you up. You shall feel peaceful and auspicious. To those who have listened to today's lesson, the merits from learning from this sutra shall bless you with auspiciousness. Got it. You shall avoid disasters. Got it. You shall avoid demons and evil. Got it. The earth deities and ghosts around you shall protect you. Got it. The guardians from Medicine Buddha's world shall protect you. Got it. Believe in Medicine Buddha with utmost reverence, and you shall be protected by the 12 great divine generals. Got it. All Buddhas are connected to each other. The same goes for Medicine Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, and Earth Store Bodhisattva. As long as you're sincere, you shall be protected. All those who have sinned and all those who think evil thoughts shall find peace. In this lifetime, having listened to this lesson, all your great sins shall be forgiven. Received. You shall receive auspiciousness for this lifetime and future lifetimes. Received. Your wishes shall be fulfilled. Received. We've come to the end of this sutra. All merits earned today shall be dedicated to the Dharma realms and all sentient beings. I wish for world peace. I wish for everyone's wishes to be fulfilled. I wish everyone happiness. I wish everyone health and longevity. Received.
小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有恐惧。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，了解生命的真理，修行的理义。因为有了你，日子犹如彩虹般美丽。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。我快乐了， 小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有恐惧。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神